going on, y'all? Welcome back to Junior's World of Soul. I am back with a new video. I am so glad to be back with a new video. I just did one yesterday, but I am back with a new video. Happy Black History Month. Black History Month has started, and I said, why not start my current R&B videos of February with gospel music? Gospel music is the root of us black folks, the way I should say. And I like R&B and I like soul music, but that music it comes from gospel music. So if you love R&B soul, you have to love gospel music, because that's where a lot of our favorite artists' roots began. So like Whitney said, who is definitely one of the best singers of all time, R.I.P. to her, her roots was gospel music. And I love in her interview how she said that gospel music was a feeling. It's a feeling that you have, a connection that you have with Jesus. It's a good thing, and you always want that. So, you know, it was a time when gospel music used to cross over to, you know, R&B radio or pop radio, and it was able to reach a big audience. So starting with the 70s, you know, my mom said that she used to hear this song on gospel state on the WBLS, and Frankie Crocker, if anyone y'all know, played this all the time. So that used to be, like my mom said, she used to hear that a lot on WBLS, and it was a crossover, because you know back then they used to have the gospel station, if I'm not mistaken, 1600 WWORL, and that used to be the gospel station. So a lot of the gospel music will be played on there, but if it was big enough, it crossed over, and that was one of the songs that crossed over. In the 80s, another big record actually crossed over, and it was by the Clark sisters, and this song was getting played in Studio 54, so that was a big deal. So that was the 80s. So that was crossover. You know, with that, they, you know, Studio 54, they wanted the Clark sisters to come and perform that song, and they didn't go. They didn't go because they felt like it wasn't, you know, that's when really R&B music and pop music really was not supposed to connect with each other. It really wasn't. It was supposed to be just gospel, and they didn't want to deal with that. And I heard they offered them so much money, and they didn't. So in 1983, the Grammys invited the Clark sisters to come and sing You Brought the Sunshine. So instead, they didn't. They did another song, and if you look in the audience, people are looking confused, like, what is going on? It is on YouTube. They are coming down the aisle, and they with these black outfits, and they coming on the stage, and they did not do You Bring the Sunshine. But it was just this song crossed over, and it reached a big audience, and you had people at Studio 54 dancing to a song that talked about Jesus. In the 90s, of course, we had the people that I felt, in my opinion, that brought me closer to God and let me have a relationship with Him, was BB and CeCe Winans. That song was played. It was actually #1 on the R&B charts. So this song crossed over once again. And then in the 2000s, we came with Mary Mary, and they gave us Shackles, and it was just like this crossed over to pop radio. Okay, so I can lift my hands. I just wanna praise you. I just wanna praise you. And then in 2008, they brought us this, and this crossed over to R&B radio. It's the God in me. It's the God in me. Hey, we going somewhere with it, but I'm giving y'all kind of, we going somewhere with it. So just stay with me. So now, those songs fit on mainstream radio then, but it seems like now the gospel world has embraced it because I think they really realize that, it's bringing a lot of the young generation closer to God. It's making them, okay, we can put a beat behind it and it will get the kids. And like, I love the interview that B.B. Winans did with Arsenio Hall, and he asked him, when he came out with the Heaven album, he asked him about how do you feel when some of the songs are crossing to the R&B world, and he said at the end of the day, God made music. So any music is his. So at the end of the day, if they have a nice message and talking about God and it's inspirational and it's reaching a wider audience, that is a beautiful thing. So today's world, we have a lot of that, but a lot of it is still not getting played on R&B or the mainstream hip-hop R&B radio. Because let me tell you something. When Stump came out and when God and Me came out and Shackles and all that, I heard it when it used to be Hot 97. It used to be Power 105.1 because me being from New York, you heard that. I know when I came to Baltimore when I moved to go to school on 92Q, they was playing the God and Me, and then they was playing the remix with Neo. So I was just like, okay, we're getting into a new climate. So thinking that will work now, it seemed like it stopped. And it's embraced, but it's still not getting recognized on mainstream R&B hip-hop stations. Like, for instance, Erica Campbell tried it. And with this song alone, you cannot tell me that she did not get a trap beat and it didn't work. And I don't understand why.
I love God. You love God? What's wrong? Chill. What? I don't think that I can live no other way. Yeah. Truth be told, I'm living now on an A. Now to see them blessings in the modern day. The Lord I serve, give them to me every day.
So I'm like, if God and Me was played on the radio in 2008, this song has a trap type of beat. Why isn't this not getting played on mainstream radio? And it just gives me the same situation that R&B soul is going to. They not respecting it. It seemed like when R&B soul was rocking in the 90s and early 2000s, gospel music that was making during that time was able to fit in with what they were playing on the radio, and it worked. Like I said, with Stump. When Stump came out, it was getting played on every hip-hop R&B station, and then when you throw Salt on it and she did her rap, oh my God, it became hip-hop, it became R&B, it became gospel, and all in one, and it was very inspirational, and I best believe you wanted a lot of people to be part of God's property because it made it so fun for generations like me. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I'm going in like this because I was watching Celebration of Gospel yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to actually see it when it came out, but I recorded it on DVR. And, God spoke to my spirit after I finished watching it. And he told me, look, you're talking about R&B soul, and you're giving a platform talking about, that genre of music. You talk about how much you love gospel music, but you have not even done a video about it. I did a part of a video when I talked about Tina's album being one of my favorites of 2015, and that was it. I didn't talk about gospel music. I didn't even give a video about it. And I said, how can I express to you guys how I feel about it and talk about it? And I said, you know what? I have 4 current joints that I feel like that can make the radio and, that should be on mainstream radio, and it fits into what is being played now. So I said, you know what? I'm going to give y'all my current 4 gospel songs that I feel that should be played on R&B and hip-hop because it fits. So the first one, I'm going to start with His name is Tim Bowman Jr. Now, I was introduced to him from the song He Will with Vicki Winans. And I remember that song, and I liked it, and I used to, like, rock to it all the time like it was a beautiful record. And then I didn't hear from him no more. And then, like, 5 months ago, you know, I was like, yo, he's back, because I think I was on YouTube or something like that, because I'm not even going to front in this video that, you know, I don't have a gospel station. When I know my gospel music that I have, and I don't have one. And, you know, my mom is starting to get, you know, she just starting to get familiar with her iPhone. So she listens to a gospel station every day, and she tells me about songs, or she sends me songs. And I said, you know what, at work, I'm actually going to put it on my desktop. And this one, 5 months ago, I heard Tim Bowman Jr., and I said, yo, this song is hot. And it can definitely get played on mainstream R&B hip-hop stations. It fits to me. And the song is called I'm Good, and I'm going to give y'all a little sample of that. Give me a second. And it goes like this.
That I'm not having it. Take a look in the mirror, say to yourself, I've come to try to quit, so say I'm good. Good enough to love myself. Good enough to have success. What you gain from all your stress. And the freedom to know that you are blessed. I'm good. Good enough to handle my business.
So good. Like, I love that song. Like, it's so ill, and I think that it could definitely be played, and it's definitely a word that can be uplifting. Like, he's not in it talking about God, 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 but it's still inspiration, and you know who he's talking about. And I love the record, and I think that song could definitely be played on R&B radio, and it's so current, and I love it. So, the next one I want to talk about, you know, speaking of celebration of gospel, Jonathan McReynolds did a song on, he performed with Travis Green, Cassette Michelle, and Ty Tribbett. Let me tell you something about Jonathan. Jonathan's voice is amazing. Like, his tone and his vocal runs that he does live, it is amazing. Like, he is a dope singer, and he's young. And when you got somebody like India Arie, they was on the Celebration of Gospel, I think in 2014, and they did No Gray together, and they were back and forth with it. Oh my God, it was amazing. And like, this dude is really, and he's young, and he's current, and he can really talk to the younger generation. And but the way I was introduced to Jonathan was by one of my coworkers where I work at. His name is EC, and he's a Christian rapper. And I remember one day he sent me No Gray. He was like, he's like, I know you're into music, and I know you like gospel. Have you heard about Jonathan McReynolds? And I said, no, I've never heard of him before. And he sent me No Gray. And right from there, I became a fan. And I went and I got Life Music 1, and I liked it. And then he did Life Music 2, and he has on it a song that I feel that could definitely be played on R&B and hip-hop, because it gives you that vibe, and it's a nice little vibe, and it's called Full Attention, and it goes like this. Like, you hear that beat, like, that will definitely get the younger generation now. I know, you know, I'm trying to say I'm like not too old, but the younger generation now would like that. They give them a beat. It seems like now it's all about the beat, and then they'll take the message after that, and then they'll fall in love with it. And I think that song, Full Attention, will definitely get, you know, the younger generation. And if radio stations like, I say, Hot 97 or Power 105.1 or 92Q or 93.9 out here in D.C., that will be a great song to play. But hopefully, whoever sees this video, any director or anything, play these songs, play them. So, the next song. Now, y'all saw I came in with Snoop. I'm not Snoop. Oh my God. I came in with Kirk Franklin. I'm sorry. Thinking about Snoop Dogg. I don't know why, and I'm doing a gospel video. But he has gospel roots too. He talks about it as well. But I call him Uncle Kirk Franklin. I do. I call him Uncle Kirk Franklin. Now, he's been changing the world of gospel music for the longest. Like in the beginning, I love the beginning of Stomp when he says this. Hold on.
For those of you that think that gospel music has gone too far, you think we've gotten too radical with our message. Well, I got news for you. You ain't heard nothing yet. And if you don't know, now you know.
So Kirk Franklin has already been trying to change and get more younger people into God and letting them find Jesus for themselves with songs like this. So you know the Saints did not like this when this first came out at all, at all. I mean, when it first came out, my grandma didn't like it. And she was actually the one that put me on to gospel music. I'm going to talk about that with the next artist that I talk about after I talk about Kirk Franklin. And you know, they didn't like it, but he steady pushes the envelope. He really pushes it, and I definitely respect him because he got a lot of these younger kids from my era, from like 1990. Actually, I'm going to go back all the way to 1993, 94, 95, because I remember when Melodies from Heaven was played on BLS and KISS when we had KISS, and that was played, and I remember they performed it on New York Undercover. So Kirk Franklin has always been pushing the envelope for gospel music to get a wider audience, and he's been always doing it, and he's been continued to do it, and he's continued to use the right beats and the right things to get the younger generation to love, you know, the Lord and find the Lord. And his new song, well, he came out with a new album. It's called Lose My Religion. Now, he was on Power 105.1, and, you know, a lot of people didn't like the interview, and they didn't think the interview was that great. But what I do like about what Kirk Franklin did in that interview, he was trying to draw the younger generation in and say, listen to my album. You feel like you're losing religion and losing your, you know, you feel like, you know, you believe in God, but you're not understanding the religion. Get my album. And I like the conversation. He started a conversation that needed to be had, especially in the times that we're dealing with. He started talking about it, and I really respect it. And one of his songs on the album I really love because it's definitely a beat that the younger generation will love and can understand. And it's called 1, 2, 3 Victory. And I love it. And it goes like this.
Hey, yo, 1, 2, 3, get up, we got victory. No weapon they throw at me, you know it won't prosper. Now, trust God, lay it all. I'm doing good. I'll say to pay it all. I'm doing good. Should be afraid, but I'm feeling good. All the time you say, God is good.
And that beat, it just knocks. Now, I can see Power 105 playing this after Future because clearly you need the victory after listening to Future song. I'm sorry. It's truth is the truth. I'm not a big fan of his, but I don't know what he's saying in any of his songs, so it's weird. So if you throw this song in, and it's like, okay, you need that bounce, so you hear that in the morning, or they can play that like in the morning when people going to school and on the bus. And I know when I was on the bus, we used to play, you know, the radio, and we used to want to listen to Hot 97 and all that kind of stuff, and they, you know, and this will work. It'll kind of get people up the beat, get you knocking a little, have you rocking a little bit, and that could work. So that's another one. 1, 2, 3 Victory I feel like is a banger that could be played on R&B radio. Now the last one, because I'm doing 4, and the last of the bangers that I'm going to talk about is from the Queen of Gospel, Miss Shirley Caesar. Now I was introduced to Shirley Caesar by my grandma. I was introduced to gospel music by my grandma. She really put me on to gospel music, and I remember as a kid, you know, we had the live in Memphis VHS. I was about to say DVD. Back in 91, there was no such thing as a DVD. I don't know if it maybe was, but I didn't know about it. But we had the VHS live in Michigan, and my grandma would always go in the kitchen and she would cook, and I would always sit in there and I would watch it. That's the one with Hole the Mule, and Shirley Caesar was all over the floor. Like, it was just, and I would get so mad when it would go off, and that's why if you ask my grandma today, she would tell you that, you know, Junior loved Shirley Caesar. Like, he loved her. And I did, and I still do. She's just anointed. And another one of her songs that I love to death, and I just finished listening to, is He Will Come. I love that song. That song brings tears to my eyes every time I hear it, because it gives you so much inspiration, because God might not come when you want, but He's always on time. And I love that song. And if any of y'all want to go listen to that song, it's really like a two-parter, because she's telling a story, and then the end, her and the choir come in, but I will recommend it. But the song about hers, that's a new one, is called It's Alright, with one of my soul brothers, Anthony Hamilton. It just came out maybe about, I guess, 2 weeks ago. They performed it on the Celebration of Gospel. I love the song. You know, Shirley Caesar ain't gonna go too far out of, gospel music, so I knew that this song is definitely a banger, and I think you guys should check it out too. And it goes like this.
It's alright, it's okay. Don't you let your troubles get in your way. Just believe and have faith. Know that He is with you every day.
I love that song. Now, could that get played on hip-hop stations? It might can, but it can definitely get played on R&B. And having Anthony Hamilton on there and bringing that soul, because Shirley Caesar already has that soul, bringing him in there, that definitely can get on an R&B station. So the songs that I feel that are bangers that deals with, soul, I mean not soul, but it is soul, but gospel, I feel like it is Tim Bowman Jr. When I'm Good, Kirk Franklin's 1, 2, 3 Victory, Jonathan McReynolds with Full Attention, and Shirley Caesar and Anthony Hamilton's It's Alright, It's Okay. Like, those 4 songs need to be on R&B radio. It needs to touch people. I'm telling you, these songs can definitely touch people. And I feel like it can be to a wider audience. And hopefully these, music directors and directors of these stations, these R&B stations, can jump and do this, because back in the 90s they did. I want to know who was the person that said, you know what, we're going to play Stomp on an R&B radio. And when they did, it blew up. So I feel like these songs can be played on R&B radio, and it can blow up and go to a massive audience. I think they tried to do it with Erica Campbell, but I didn't see it really go anywhere. They didn't really play it on, I didn't hear it on Power 105. I didn't hear it on 92Q. I didn't hear it on things like that. But it was just weird that they played The God in Me. But, those are my 4 songs. Those are my 4 picks. And I started that for the Black History Month, starting with a gospel video. And speaking of gospel videos, my best friend Alicia has a YouTube page. It is called Bible Talk with Alicia. Please check it out. She gives you scriptures of the week that you can sit and meditate to. She also gives you, she's going through the Bible with you, and she's starting with Genesis. So if you go right now, she's only up to chapter 3 in Genesis, and you can get a word from her. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys go and download these songs and buy them, and hopefully call your radio stations near you and request these songs to be played. And on that note, I will see y'all in the next video. Peace, y'all.